Hello, I'm Cornell Wright, and today I'd like to talk with you about Design, a software tool and combination of services from the Predictive Index and the Parker Wright Group. The Parker Wright Group is a certified business partner of Predictive Index, and so therefore we can provide you with the combination and access to the suite of Predictive Index talent optimization tools and our capabilities of assisting you with on-the-ground expertise and knowledge of your business and business trends. Strategy development and talent strategy are one of the key areas of concern to CEOs. As you can see from the chart, strategy development, talent strategy, operational excellence, execution, and strategy alignment are four critical areas in order to address the concerns of CEOs. With the combination of Predictive Index design capabilities of their software suite and the Parker Wright Group, we can assist you in these four areas. Comments we've heard from our clients over time is the leadership team's agreement on strategy. Certainly they agree in the room, but can they really start to have that agreement to secure and provide a high degree of expectation for success on the agreed upon strategy? Which behaviors and capabilities do we need to succeed? And the other areas I'm sure that you can see the questions you can relate to and others that may be appropriate for your organization. The Predictive Index suite of software offerings starts with the hire component. The hire component, as you see there, is using a behavioral assessment in order to identify key individuals or the individuals of your team and how they are behaviorally structured and positioned to succeed in the position you've hired them for. The Inspire offer takes the combination of the information obtained from the behavioral assessment and then combines that with the managerial team and with other team members in order to try to make sure and predict a fit of your business team in order to be as successful as possible to meet their business objectives. The design takes those combinations and applies that to your executive team with understanding your executive team's behavioral indices, as well as then what are your strategic initiatives in order to marry and present those together. I'll show you that in just a moment. But it's the combination of those components that takes your business strategy, aligns them with your talent strategy and your predictive index assessments in order to provide you with the business results that you're looking for. Think about, for example, we have here a picture of Tom Brady, one of the greatest quarterbacks the NFL has ever seen. Think about the capabilities and the communication as necessary on the part of his team. He has 11 members on the team, everyone with their own skill sets. They've worked years in order to perfect their skills and capabilities, and they're all going to apply those in a given moment in regards to executing the play that they just called. That's the kind of strategic alignment and strategy assessment that you want to have on your team. Other examples of that is that of an operating room. You have the doctors, you have nurses, you have anesthesiologists, you have other technicians, you have equipment and machines, all designed with an understanding of what everyone's key roles and strategy and capabilities are in order to provide the best outcome. There's a strategy, there's an agreement as to the approach, and there's high level of execution. Those same techniques and capabilities are available to you and your team in regards to how you go about pursuing your business strategy in order to achieve your business results. Part of that is associated with, is there an agreement? Within the design tool of Predictive Index, we have an opportunity to gain anonymous input from your executive team in regards to a number of key strategic initiatives, whether that you really have agreement on your team of moving forward. From this chart, you can see that anywhere between less than 25% is not agreement and probably will result in failure. Less than 50% is a danger zone and an area of concern between 50% and 75%. But most of the time, when you think about it, we use 70% as a consensus measurement. Consensus gives us an opportunity to move forward, but as you can see, it may not give you that capability with everyone's oar being in the water, pulling in the same direction. Between that 75% and say maybe 90%, that's where you have some friction between your executive teams. CEOs have to respond to those concerns, and particularly in this world in which we don't have as much physical contact, that's even more concern on the part of CEOs and leaders of executive teams. But once you get to that 100% and we have agreement, we're ready to rock, everyone's aligned, and we'll have a high level of success. So What can we do to help you get to that 100% agreement? Well, basically, we have an opportunity, once again, as I mentioned, of having the executive team have anonymous input regarding key initiatives for your organization or for your strategy. When you have 100% of agreement, that's the green light. Let's go ahead with that and pursue that aggressively. When you have less than 100%, let's start looking at it. How much agreement do we have, and what's the engagement and support for those other initiatives? If you don't have a 100% agreement and you disagree, that's something you shouldn't be pursuing at all. We all understand, though, that there may be some connection between something that has a medium level agreement and a high level agreement. That's where we would have additional conversations in order to understand that. But this tool gives us an opportunity of having those conversations grounded in an understanding of the agreement on the part of the executive team in order to support each of the strategic initiatives. So we get a chance to start to then build your talent blueprint in regards to, as you've seen this chart before, in regards to strategic goals, who's responsible, success metrics, what's at stake. Yes, we'd have a chance to fill that out, and that would be part of the sessions that we would conduct with your team in order to keep moving forward. But once we have that information, we would then be able to marry that with those key initiatives. And you see there on the top left, it's launch a new product line and a new line of products and services. That within the predictive index strategic assessment is considered an exploring opportunity. You see a cultivating one, stabilizing, is identified by the other key strategic initiatives. You also then get a chance to see under that in the matrix there of how the various members of the executive team from their behavioral assessment turns out to what are the areas that they have their most behaviorally oriented strategies, successes and strengths in. That doesn't mean that you don't pursue those items, but it does give you a clear understanding as to how to move in those areas and who perhaps should be leading the teams based upon their behavioral assessment indications and strengths. So we can get that started in less than 15 minutes. Once again, as I mentioned to you, by taking the behavioral assessment and looking, not behavioral assessment, but the strategy assessment. And as you can see in the chart there, the gentleman's pointing to, is that we look at your strategic initiatives and then combine that with your executive team's behavioral assessments in order to provide you with a clear graphical representation as to how you have alignment and/or agreement. So the path to business results starts, of course, with you having a business strategy. Using the design tool from Predictive Index would then lead you into hiring the right people, inspiring the right people rather, hiring them the right people, and then provide with additional diagnostics in order to identify where the hot spots are for how your teams are or are not producing or working well together. And then that then gives you a clear path to achieve the business results that you're looking for and need. One of the groups that we've had a chance to work with was the Clifford Beers organization, in which they had a similar set of concerns in regards to the executive team in regards to a large organization that was bringing in additional organizations in order to fuel their growth. This is some of the comments that we received from the executive at Clifford Beers, Alice Forster. We thank them for their support and work, as well as I thank you for your time today and ask you to contact me, Cornell Wright at the Parker Wright Group, if you have any other questions or concerns. Thank you very much for this conversation and look forward to speaking with you soon. Goodbye.